In this video, we're going to look at the filter strip section over here. Now, the idea with synthesis is that by applying filters, we subtract part of the frequency spectrum from the samples being affected, so we can filter frequencies below a certain point or above a certain point or around a certain point. So let's go over the controls and I'll give you a little demonstration of some of the models. Now here, we choose which type of filter we want, and low-pass filters mean that wherever we have this frequency knob set, it's going to filter out everything above it and let everything below it pass through. And the resonance knob means that it'll excite the frequency right around the cutoff point that we have here. So as this filters above and lets the lows pass through, it'll boost a resonant peak right around, in this case, 1.3K. And these buttons over here determine how steep the roll-off is going to be, and the higher it is, the steeper the roll-off is. So that's a typical low-pass filter. We have high-pass where it does the opposite. You set this, and it allows everything above that value to pass through, and below is filtered off steeply or not steeply based on these settings. And again, the resonant peak allows a boost right at the cutoff point. And then we get into some specialty filters at the end, which allow for overdrive, and that allows to overdrive the input into the filter section, so you can sort of get a bit of a slightly distorted, overdriven sound the way a lot of classic synths have done in the past. So let me just demonstrate a couple of models, and it'll give you an idea of how and what these do. So let me play this little arrangement and focus on the lead synth sound that I have, and that's what we're going to be affecting. So now as I alter the cutoff frequency here, as I dial it down, we're going to hear that it's going to sound more muffled as the frequencies above this point are going to be filtered out. And at a more gentler slope, we'll hear the roll-off a little more subtly. So there, by boosting the resonance, we're getting a real resonant peak right around there, and it's giving that wah type sound. And if you sweep the frequency with a boosted peak, that's in effect what a wah-wah pedal does. Let's look at a high-pass filter, which does the opposite. This works nicely on drum loops where you can get just the high end really resonating, and you can use that as sort of a top end on a drum loop. But this filters everything below and lets the frequencies above pass through. We have bandpass filters which allow everything within the range of this cutoff knob to pass through and filters everything else out. And we have some variations on that, and we have some interesting effect filters at the end, and these are the ones that allow us to overdrive the input. And the phaser one is really interesting. It's got a comb filter kind of effect, and it's really nice. We have different orders of how many stages of phase that we want it to go through. So we get a nice, subtle or not so subtle type of thickening to the sound with this filter. So those are the filter types overall, and go through every single one. These are variations on high pass, band pass, and low pass. And a peak one allows for a peak right at the frequency that we have this set at. And here you can really hear the overdriving influence of the overdriven input to the filter. So lots of nice colors and options are available, from traditional low and high pass filtering all the way up to some nice effect style filtering. See you for more in the next video.